Imagine a life where the regular humdrum of existence is punctuated by an unusual, almost absurd routine. Picture a man, Pastor Nicky, who starts his day with a vodka-spiked morning coffee. His days are a constant struggle against the hangover from the previous night's indulgences, with the only respite being the distant prospect of Sunday's church service. As the day unfolds, there's a knock at the door. Two cheerful men, clad in suits, stand before the grumpy pastor, eager to talk about Jesus. Nicky, a man who encounters Jesus in his everyday work, is far from thrilled by this intrusion. He slams the door, returning to his now lukewarm coffee, cursing the Jehovah's Witnesses for ruining his hangover day. A buzzing in his head, ongoing for months, signals something amiss. Nicky fears it's alcohol-fueled madness. His remedy? Hand-rolled cigarettes devoid of filters and nicotine gum during his sermons. His trusty friend, the hip flask, keeps his trembling hands steady and the voices at bay. But what are these voices? That's a fear he's yet to confront. Evenings find Nicky penning down his thoughts, guided by Jesus. A sudden whisper from the hip flask advises a swig to keep the alcohol devil away. Agreeing, Nicky takes a hard gulp of his holy water, ensuring his sanity. The alcohol devil is a terrifying thought, but one he's managed to keep at arm's length. Then comes Saturday, a day of dread. With the liquor store closed on Sunday and his church duties prohibiting him from drinking or smoking, he fears the onset of withdrawals. But he usually manages a swig before the tremors kick in, appeasing his ever-demanding hip flask. Even Jesus, with his own flask bearing a pastor's image, occasionally joins him. Post-work, Nicky retreats to his balcony, flask filled with whiskey. As he sits in his work clothes, his hip flask Jesus announces his appearance. A thumb-sized figure materializes on the balcony railing, whiskey bottle in hand. As both of them start to get tipsy, Jesus grows anxious, hinting at the need for a flask refill. Nicky agrees, filling up his flask as Jesus whispers of the impending arrival of the alcohol devil. Jesus promises to eliminate the devil if the flask is full. At the request, I put Jesus on my shoulder to guard. Soon it would appear on the railing. "Sorry," Jesus said, and dug a handgun out of my ear canal. "You had a pistol stuck in your ear, I'll borrow it." I was about to pass out until I woke up. Someone who looks like a booze troll dances on the balcony railing. I was startled and afraid of the figure, even though it was the size of a mouse. "Jesus will help" was heard, and soon the pistol magazine was emptied into a liquor troll that fell inside the balcony. There it slowly leaked out, and Jesus wanted to make sure it wouldn't come back again. He took a cigarette butt from the ashtray, which he somehow conjured to be a shotgun, jumped onto the floor of the balcony and slowly walked towards the booze goblin, aiming for his head at the same time. Jesus kicked the drunkard on his back and saw how he tried to say something with blood pouring from his mouth. However, we couldn't find out from bloody growling, and it was as like the fireworks had exploded when the shotgun fired. "Let's go inside," Jesus said tiredly. "Let's let the bird take the booze goblin. I hope it doesn't come back, although somehow I feel like it will." Nicky shook in her chair and finally got herself inside. Jesus had disappeared and the flask started talking again. "Situations like this could be avoided if you remember to drink more regularly," Flask said. "For the first time, I will come to the rescue again." Nicky was relieved to take care of the pocket rug and took a swig of whiskey. The next day, Nicky drinks her fortified coffee again. Then he asks Jesus why his head is buzzing. Flask Jesus takes a shot of vodka and declares it to be a harmless barfly. It keeps brain cells alive. No need to worry, quite normal in this case. Nicky proudly drinks her coffee fortified with vodka. The week goes by as usual and the buzzing didn't bother me anymore. The following Saturday was an autumn wedding where Nika almost got into a fight with the drunk groom, when Nika pointed out that the hidden bottle could also be shared with the pastor. In her thoughts, Nika had treated the wedding as a stranger and would have liked to stay and drink, even if there was a church service tomorrow. There was a little communion vodka in the flask, which Jesus advised to put a drop in the coffee. It actually made it a little easier. Nike had a bit of trouble with the car. It was like having a custom Santa at Christmas after too much wine. One decelerator was missed, and the exhaust pipe hit the decelerator so fast that it dripped from the bottom onto the street. A grandmother who was walking her dog had watched in horror as the shaky pastor drove home with a rumbling car without an exhaust pipe. I was shocked when Jesus reassuringly said, "It's okay, Jesus guides." On Sunday, after the church service, back home and like last time, now also on the balcony, Flask could tell again that the break has been too long. The booze devil is coming again. My heart was almost in my throat, and with shaking hands I had to get a flask full of vodka. Then Jesus appeared on the railing, peering into the street with binoculars in his council uniform. Nikki was scared of what was going on. "The booze trolls are on the move," Jesus said. "Soon there will be a backlash." Jesus took a laptop from his backpack and opened the software that controls several radio-controlled T-34 tanks. Soon, 10 miniature tanks appeared at the end of the street, and on the other side of the street there were dozens of dancing booze trolls. Nikki was terrified when it started to crackle, as if a package of fireworks had exploded on the street at the same time. People passing by continued their lives and activities as normal. Jesus said they don't live in this reality, but don't worry, the booze trolls are about to retreat. Jesus kept his promise, and the booze trolls were defeated this weekend as well. The week went by peacefully again in a familiar place. Flask hinted that something big is about to happen. Booze Devil will come again on Sunday. It started to scare me again. It was still a day and Jesus starts hinting about something big. On Sunday it started again. Flask to vibrate. Then the window started to rattle. I asked what's going on here. "The booze troll is coming again. Look, you can survive yourself now. How and what?" Soon a booze troll appeared on the horizon that was as tall as trees and danced so that everything around it shook. How did I eliminate that? Nikki asked, tears in her eyes. "Take a whiff and get a sofa cushion. It will turn into a bazooka." Nikki went into the living room where there was a loaded bazooka on the sofa. "Aim the boogeyman at our heart and it will disappear on a full hit." With shaky hands, Nikki aimed with the slingshot, and when the right moment came, she sent the rocket towards the booze troll. However, Booze Troll dodged the oncoming projectile with a dance move. "What am I now?" Nikki got to shout. The windows were rattling so that I could no longer understand what was being said. "Get another couch cushion, it turns into a helmet. Put it on your head." Inside, Nikki used duct tape to put a pillow around her head. "Take me, Flask, with you and go to the roof. There is an anti-aircraft machine gun." With difficulty, Nikki got herself up the outdoor ladder to the roof when the ladder shook so strongly. Flask was able to tell that the chimney has been cleared and anti-aircraft equipment has been placed in its place for such situations. Jump into it and get ready to poke the booze troll towards the set. That should eliminate the booze troll from this weekend. In the melee of roaring curses, I felt like my ears were bleeding from the force of the burst fire. Pieces of meat flew from the booze troll when it finally fell to the ground in the woods. "Take another shot of vodka and let's go back inside. This could become a medal for bravery." Nika fell down the ladder with a pillow on her head as the police watched the situation in amazement. "What about you on the roof?" "I'm a pastor, and I had to go and destroy the booze troll. Come in that car and talk and take that pillow off your head." Nika took the helmet off his head and tiredly dropped it on the ground. "Can I talk to Jesus?" Nikki was told. "Give me that flask here." "No, you can't. The booze troll can come back." "Damn it. Let's go to the station to survive and we'll talk in the morning. Surely no crime has occurred." Nika passed out in the station tube almost immediately, and in the morning the police asked how he was. "Terrible hangover. Could I get my Jesus back?" "How long is your pipe?" the police asked. "Well, I've had a buzzing barfly for a few months, but it mostly takes care of my brain." "Yeah, if we take you to treatment for evaluation." That's how it happened, that Nika sobered up after some time when she received treatment. However, Booze Troll danced for a few weeks until he started to feel better. Nikki is still working as a pastor, as long as it is.